All right, we're going to begin a unit that has to do with color. So to learn about color, what we're going to do is practice mixing colors to figure out how we can make all the different colors and paint everything really well. To do that, what we're going to do is we're going to start by making a color wheel. In other years, these are a little bit larger, but there's different ways of making color wheels. This is one student just kind of made all of the shapes the same size. This student went about it a little bit differently. You guys will have the option of making your color wheel however you want. You can use your creativity, but just to give you a real quick example of how we can make one, I'm going to guide you guys through the process. So you're going to have your sheet of paper. You can divide it in half. On the left side, what you're going to do is you're going to start off with what's known as the primary colors. And there are 3 primary colors that we're going to be using. And they're red, yellow, and blue. Oops. Doing this really fast, probably too fast. Trying to make a short video. Red, yellow, and blue. Okay, so these are your primary colors. If you mix these primary colors together, you're going to end up with some secondary colors. So if I mix yellow and blue, that's going to give me green. If I mix red and blue, that's going to give me purple. Or in the art world, they use the word violet. If you mix red and yellow, you're going to end up with orange. Okay. And then in between all the, let me label this. So you have primary colors, which were those first 3. Whenever you mix those 2 together, you're going to end up with secondary colors. And if you mix a primary and a secondary, you're going to end up with what's called a tertiary, or whenever you go to take your final exam, they're going to call them intermediate colors. Okay, so that would be like yellow green. If you mix green and blue together, you'd have blue green. If you mix violet and blue, you'd have blue violet, red violet, red orange, and yellow orange. Okay, all of these in between are your intermediates. Okay, on the other half of your paper, what you're going to do is you're going to make 3 bars. And if you want to, you can grab a ruler and make this look a little bit nicer. Like I said, I'm just doing this really quick so I can make a short video. Once you have your 3 bars, towards the bottom, you're going to label them tints for one of them. Neutrals for the last one. And then shades over here in the middle. Okay, each one of these we're going to paint, and I'll explain that later, but for right now what we need to do is break these up into sections. So starting off with this one, if we split it in the middle once and then split these halves again, and what we're going to do is split it one more time. So what's going to happen is we're going to end up with 8 different sections, and you can do that for each one of these 3 bars. Okay, so what your paper should look like, you're going to have a color wheel on one side, these 3 bars on the right side, and what we'll do tomorrow is I'll explain how we're going to go about painting each one of these, but as long as you have all of these little parts labeled, you should be fine. So having your primaries, secondaries, and intermediates, as well as tints, shades, and neutrals. You'll be fine.